Right, well, good morning and talofa lava bikers. Something completely different today. I'm in Dunedin, New Zealand, and this is my son's YS125 Yamaha, a little bike he's bought to jump through the licensing hoops of the modern Western world. I'm down helping him set up a new house, and so obviously I haven't got my CB500, but this is an opportune time to think about, would I trade my CB500 for the YS125. So I've been riding it a bit over the last couple of weeks, getting used to it, and I'll just do a short vlog on that particular theme. So to put a little bit of structure around it, I'm going to try three sort of fun tests. One is the beach mooch test, or coffee shop test, or round town test, depending upon where you live and what you do. The second one is going to be the hill climb test. You might be able to see in the distance there's some pretty steep hills in this here little city. I'm about 95 kilos probably at least, with all my gear on and everything else, and this is a little 125 that puts out about 10 horsepower, so can it get me up the hills? And the third one is the open road keep up with the traffic test. Okay, so with a little further ado, off to the coffee shop. Okay, so here we go on test one, the beach mooch test, otherwise known as the coffee shop run. Approaching St Clair Beach, just around the corner here. You'll note all the coffee shop patrons. On the right here, the hydro. You might see the greeny building there. It's one of our favourite stops with a nice view of water. Oh, the surfies are out en masse, despite the fact there's not much surf. So here we have your standard touristy esplanade. Little boutique city. How's 125? Well, that's pretty much perfect, isn't it? About as good as it can be. So we'll just pull over here just briefly, because we can, and have a look at the vista while we're here. Right, St Clair Beach. This is one of those beaches that, in my humble opinion, always looks great. So it's an interesting day today. It's relatively warm for this part of the world. It's February the 24th at the moment. It's relatively warm. Quite often you get a cold southerly comes through here, often with a ripping gale, and this place is spectacular with the sea, and then when the sun comes out, it's spectacular with the sun. So as you can see, it's a weekend day today, it's Saturday, so the surfies are out in force. It's not actually a great surf today, but often there is. And from time to time you can see seals in the water here. In fact, just a couple of days ago there was a sea lion just over here by the swimming pool. He appeared to have caught a small shark and was eating him out in the surf, which was quite spectacular. Okay. Right, so perhaps no surprise, but I think that's the beach mooch test. We're not stopping for a coffee today, but broadly speaking, there is a pass on that one. Okay, so obviously that's not much of a test, is it? Because a little 125 is always going to be great for just mooching around in a crowded area like that. This is a much more serious test, the hill climb test. Let's see what she can do, eh? 50 kilometres an hour, which is actually the speed limit. And we're just getting into the hill. We're carrying third at the moment. Limited by the car ahead, not by the bike. Let them get away. GoPro will flatten it out, but this is quite a steep hill. Still dragging me up 38 and third, which, to be fair, is a stretch at these revs. Now I'll just drop it down a cog. Let's see. So second, 49, and third, 50. So look at that. And there we go. My substantial bulk on a steep hill, and she's away again. But yeah, I've been up there a couple of times and she will actually carry third up that very steep bit of hill. That is pretty damned impressive, given the substantial weight that I am on a little wee 125. Note how the bike is having no trouble keeping up with the locals. There again, caught third again, and are accelerating up this hill. Well done, Mr. Yamaha. When I first rode this bike, I genuinely did not think it would be able to carry me up a hill like that in third gear. At the speed limit, I had visions of myself revving the heck out of it in second at about 30 kilometres an hour, so that's pretty impressive. So against all odds, I think that that's a hill climb test pass too, right? So seeing as we're here, we'll just do a little diversion into how the other half live. Now you might be able to see there's an old castle just by the side of the trees. It's probably pretty small on the GoPro. It's a building called Cargill's Castle. It's now just a ruin. But built in the European style, sort of back in the late 1800s, I think. See, this is quite newly developed. Dunedin's quite an old city. It's one of the earliest settled in New Zealand history. Grew greatly in the what's about 1870s, I think, somewhere around there, when gold was found in central Otago. So a lot of beautiful buildings paid for by gold money, including university, train station, that sort of thing. Very much in European tradition. So a lot of the city is old wooden houses. The place that my son's just got is 100 years old and has all the issues associated with it. Nice view from these places up here of the Great Southern Ocean. Looking particularly calm today. Often that is not the case. And I'll be loving my Black Widow, especially, people with multi-million-dollar houses love a little bike with a nice grunty exhaust. That's what they live for, isn't it? Good view down the beach there. the sign here about Cargill's Castle. What does it say? 21 room home. Okay, when? By 1882, I think it's saying. Nearly destroyed, badly damaged by a fire only 10 years later. That's not good, is it? Almost demolished in 1997. Anyway, the upside of all the steepness here, of course, is the views, if you can stand to the wind. Now look at those trees there, right? See, that's a warning, right? The southerly sweeps up over the cliff there with gay abandon. So I'll try not to fall over this gate, and you get to see the cliffs down there. Hopefully the camera's capturing that. It'll look small and far away, but it's quite spectacular, even if I do say so myself. Okay, so test number 3 is the open road can it keep up test. And I'm not going to bullshit you here. I'm not going to take the bike out in the motorway, because I know what the answer is, and probably you know what the answer is as well. Speed limit here on the motorway is about 100 kilometers per hour. Do the maths, it's a bit less than 60, 55 miles an hour, something like that. Anyway, the short and the long of it is this is a great little bike around town. Great little bike, really fun. I'm amazed at the amount of mid-range it's got and its ability to carry me up these steep hills at this local speed limit, 50 kilometers an hour. The third gear is nothing short of astonishing for a little wee bike like that with a lump like me on it. But its happy place is 60 to 70 kilometers an hour. You know, if you've got strong headwind, you can't get much above that. If you've got a bit of a tailwind, you can do about 100k. But there's no way that I would want to be spending much time on motorways on this. But you knew that already, right? So, you know, I'm not going to give you one of these YouTube, oh yeah, it can do everything. Nothing can do everything. But this thing is great fun in the local area. Great fun. And ridiculously cheap to run. I reckon it's been doing about 120 miles to the gallon. That's a UK gallon. While I've been riding it around here in the last couple of weeks. So cheap as chips. So short answer is it fails the can it keep up on the motorway test. And quite frankly, that is the limiting factor that I have with my bikes in Britain, where I live full-time myself, is I think I need a bike that can comfortably keep up with the traffic, and that's with power in reserve at European motorway speeds, which is, you know, far beyond 100 kilometers per hour. And so the 500, my CB500 is kind of minimal for that, but it can do it, and reasonably comfortably too, I might say. But it is also why I think I need at least the 500. This is me just solo, obviously, right, not carrying any pillions or anything silly like that. Yeah, so I need at least the 500, and that's in a twin cylinder as well for the smoothness and performance. So there we go. So I won't be trading this for my 500 anytime soon, but then again I don't have to, right? Because number one, son's got this for about a year, and it's great fun. Great fun. Passes the great fun test, and it's been cheap as chips. PJ bought this, it's 2 years old, it's a 21, paid about £1,000 for it, about 2,000 New Zealand dollars, with just over 200 kilometres on the clock. Someone had bought it for their licence. Don't know how they'd gone with that, but clearly had ridden it a little bit, but not much. And yeah, we picked it up, £1,000. Changed the oil and filter, tightened up the steering head, and my son's put this Black Widow exhaust on, which is hilarious, but that's another story in itself. And that's it, and she's a hoot, an absolute hoot. Anyway, thanks for listening. I might do something on about the pipe later if I have enough time. We've just been really busy setting up a new house, so I've done a lot less riding than I had hoped, but if I do, I'll probably talk about the Black Widow bike, which has been a lot of fun as well, and was also a bargain. But thanks for watching. If you're interested in sort of stuff I produce, hit subscribe and do the like thing if you bothered. Say it helps, I have no idea. Anyway, thanks for listening. Ciao for now.